Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have some interesting, news that's going on here. Of course, many of you have heard, or you should have heard by now, that Trump had his Mar-a-Lago residence raided by the FBI. News has come out saying that they thought that he had documents related to nuclear weapons, of all things. Like, what the hell Trump gonna do with some nuclear weapons paperwork at his house? I mean, this is what they're saying. That's what they were looking for. Found out he had a whole FBI informant around him the whole time. Like the giving information about him, somebody close to him, actually. So that's interesting. Now, we have never heard of anything like this happening to any former president. We know that with the Trump situation, they've been after Trump ever since he got elected. They don't want Trump to run again, so they're trying to get something on him where he can't hold federal office. Let's just call it what it is. But the issue we're seeing here with that is the backlash, because it's something we've never seen before. So Republicans had came out and start saying defund the FBI. Now, the FBI was good about a week ago, right? Like, what happened? Of course, I've heard them complain here and there, but, they start saying, oh, the FBI is too political and, they're weaponizing them. Well, let's just talk about just a few people in history where the FBI has been doing the same thing for a long time, and none of y'all had nothing to say back then. Let's go back to the time of our brother Fred Hampton. There was a, recent movie that chronicled some of this stuff, was Judas and the Black Messiah. And, you talk about William O'Neill, how he was an FBI informant to get information on Fred Hampton, end up having him poison Fred Hampton, and they end up ultimately killing Fred Hampton, right? That was all with the FBI. And now Fred Hampton would be considered a political figure. He didn't threaten to harm the United States. He didn't take up arms against the United States. He didn't do anything like that. But yet they felt Fred Hampton and the Black Panthers were a threat. And that's completely political, okay? Martin Luther King. Look at all the things they did, Dr. King, under J. Edgar Hoover. Completely political. J. Edgar Hoover's mission was to destroy the civil rights movement and everybody in the civil rights movement. Not because they were threatening America, not because they was, doing terror attacks or anything like that against the country. No, they did that because they have to keep the system going, and the system cannot go with anyone else talking about another system, another way, etc. And they claim that the FBI was created to get rid of organized crime. Well, the civil rights movement was an organized crime. So they've been political for a long time. And none of y'all had nothing to say about their political motives and the things they was doing forever. It's not just them. How many other leaders in the black community they have taken down, have discredited, have, do COINTELPRO, the rise of the Black Messiah thing. This is why you won't have no more Dr. Kings or Malcolm X's or any of those kind of people, because they're going to shut you down before you even get to that point. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you even halfway have some stroke here in America, if you can halfway gather people, like talking about it just on your word alone, you know what I'm saying? They're going to try to take you down. The only one that they didn't take down, and because he's just so insulated and protected like that, is Minister Farrakhan. I believe he's about the last of the people that can make a call and get thousands of people to show up. He's the last one. I haven't seen nobody else can make a call like that. I'm talking in the black community and get a lot of people just around him like that. And he even said he know good and well he have informants around him. Minister Farrakhan know that. But what I'm saying is he's the last of the last. I got to go myself to the Million Man March in 2015 and got to see when he make a call how many people show up. That's power right there. That's one thing to have followers. Look, followers online ain't crap. Just be honest with you. It's when you can make a call online or radio or whatever, and that many people showed up that was up there at the Million Man March. Now that represents power. That scares them when they see that. When you just talking online, because when they ready to shut you down, they can just call the social media companies to shut you down, because most people don't even have their own website, a lot of them, okay? Then they'll shut you down from your payment processors. They'll shut you down off of everything. They can shut your bank account down. They call it deplatforming. They can shut you down of everything. And most of the time they just deplatform you. That's probably going to be the end of your mouth. So they know this, okay? But the FBI has been political for a very, very long time. They always have been, okay? Now, sure, do they go after terrorists? Yeah. Yeah, they do. Do they go after white supremacists? Yes. I mean, I've been doing news for a long time. Yes, they do. Do they go after different militia groups? Yeah. You know, even the white ones, they take down too, you know, because everybody talk about Grandmaster Jay. Yeah, they took down a lot of white ones over the years too. It wasn't just Grandmaster. Anybody that's going to threaten the social order of America in a group like that, and you talking about you're a prolific leader with it, oh no, they're coming. They coming to shut you down. They're going to find a reason to shut you down. And that's really what even happened with Grandmaster Jay, just in that recent, you know, time period. Whether you agree with him or not, that's what he was basically the victim of, to stop the rise of a black messiah. So these people has always been political. But when they came after Trump, well, all of a sudden now, you know, they're crying foul. The Republicans are crying foul, even though I'm like, wow, it's interesting that happened. And I'm not saying I'm in agreement with it or anything, but I'm just saying that now the same Republican Party has been saying they are the party of law and order, now they want to get rid of the FBI when their guy is targeted. See, this is the issue with that. See, when things have been done to black people for a long time, you said nothing. You stayed by quiet. Hey, that's good. Shut them Negroes down, right? But when they do it to you, just one time, just once, one time they get at a political figure that you like, and all of a sudden now you're ready for the FBI to be defunded. You looking at DOJ, you discrediting the Department of Justice. On top of all of that, some interesting things happened here. After Trump got raided, a Republican congressman had his phone seized by the FBI. Republican Scott Perry of Pennsylvania. He said he was traveling with his family and 3 FBI agents visited me and seized my cell phone. So he was pissed off about that. He said, I'm a sitting member of Congress. You're going to seize my cell phone? While I talk to my family and friends and people in the government and all of that. Yeah, they seized the cell phone. So they said that they're practicing Gestapo tactics and they're using all these words, you know, about the FBI. And then a lot of the people who follow Trump, you know, the ones who kind of extreme with it, they was talking about, you know, saying the term civil war and it starts and all of that. And look what recently happened here. This dude went over here with to the FBI in Cincinnati, and he was trying to attack the FBI. These same people they've been coddling for years. See, with black people, they rule us with an iron fist. They don't let us even listen. Black folks wouldn't even think about doing something like that because we have to stay within the letter of the law or it's hell to pay. Hell, we don't even have to break a law and it's hell to pay just by being black in America. You understand? But they have let them do whatever the hell they want to do. Like I told people, you can say whatever you want to say. The only free people in America is white people. Because white people can get away with whatever the hell they want to get away with for the most part. It takes so much for them to go to jail. It takes so much for them to even get freaking arrested. They don't have to be as educated as black people have to be educated. They can melt down. They can do whatever they want to do. They're even go down to the small children. Black children, especially black boys, are more, you know, suspended, more targeted than white boys are. I just recently saw a study where they had teachers monitoring 4 children, teachers of all groups monitoring 4 children. And the children wasn't really doing anything wrong, but they was just saying, just mark when you think one of the children is getting out of line. And even though none of the children did wrong, all the teachers selected the black boy more as doing something that looked like he's being disobedient and doing something wrong. Even though none of the children did anything, because the bias that they have, the racism, white supremacy about our children. That's why, you know, I was listening to Dr. Claude Anderson recently, and he said that it's literally, he considered it child abuse for them folks to even be teaching our children and watching that. I see what the brother talking about, because they can't help themselves but have this hatred toward black people. But they have coddled Connor forever. Connor got to do whatever he wanted to do back in school all the way up until now. And then when Connor, something happens to Connor, he's ready to start attacking folks. You understand? We have been dealing with our community have been dealing with the FBI for a long time. Hell, I have to watch what I say on these platforms. I have to make sure that I don't say certain things. I make sure I have to thoroughly explain what I'm saying. I can't be saying things in threatening manner and all the sort of things like that, because I would get a visit by them too, because they don't let us black people get away with anything. Hell, I suffer from what they call, like they say, the black tax, because I'm black in America. I'm heterosexual. You know what I'm saying? I'm strong in my convictions. You know, and I've lost a lot of money and a lot of opportunity being the way I am now. If I was shucking and jiving, raccooning, if I put on the dress and swing a LGBT flag, I can get that money. But that's okay. I'll suffer. I'll suffer and lose whatever I got to lose, because you know what? On the back end, I get what God wants me to have. You understand? Truthfully, because you like I said, y'all really don't know how much money you lose being a black man in America, especially when you are strong in your convictions. You lose a lot. But these people want an organization that's always been politically motivated since the beginning against black people, and they want to defund them. That's what they want. They want to tamper down with them. I've heard even some calls. Some people want them to be disbanded, from what I'm hearing. For me, I will say this: is the hypocrisy is just, you know, mind numbing, but it's also interesting and funny to watch at the same time. For me, what I say to black people, and I've been saying this, you know, sit back, watch, and enjoy the show. That's what I tell black people. We don't have to get involved with anything. We can just look at it, talk about it on our respective platforms, our social media pages, you know, with the dinner table, where we want to talk about it, right? But we don't need to get involved with any of that. What them folks got going on right now, they at each other's throats. And I say this much: boy, I hope they don't pull this. But boy, if they put some charges on Trump and they arrest Trump, that's it. Let's say if they did that, they arrested him. Oh my God. I'm going to be like, it's not so much arresting Trump is going to be the thing to watch. It's going to be his folks. You know what I'm saying? Because in their mind already, they say the Department of Justice is not legitimate. They said the FBI is not legitimate. This is all Biden. This is all the Democrats. This is all like they are immediately like dismissing everything. Trump already put it out there. Hey, they wouldn't let my lawyers be in there when they were searching, because they could have planted something. So he already put it out there that they planting evidence. Well, you know, let's just be real about that. How many black people have had evidence planted on them? That's just how many stories have we have done over the years of black men, especially black men, had evidence planted on them. I'm just keep it real. I'm not saying that's what happened, you know, for the censors. I'm just saying that it has happened for black men forever, planting evidence on black men. So this is a common practice with all of them planning something. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying that's what Trump said recently, you know, as his response. So he already put the word out there already that if something was to happen to him, well, shoot, they planted that. Trump covering his bases already. So they already repeating it. They say, yeah, if they find anything, you know, even if he did have it, right? He already put it out there. Oh, they planted that junk. They wouldn't let my lawyers in there while they were searching. They wouldn't let them watch what they were doing. So what were they doing where they couldn't see? You know, so he already, like, you know how Trump is. Trump people follow him like thus saith the Lord. That's how they follow Trump. Okay, they listen to everything that he says. They follow everything that he says. I mean, Trump truly has a cult following. Nobody I have not seen no political figure in my lifetime have a cult following like Trump has. He has it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's interesting to watch that he has a cult following like that. But let's see what's going to go down. It's going to be interesting because these midterms are coming up, and the Democrats are running scared right now because they know if the Republicans, they take over the House, and if for some reason they can take over the Senate, whoo, boy, they are, they worried about that right now. They worried. So, I would say this. I don't know who's running things. I don't know. I know they talk about that, all that deep state stuff. I don't get involved in all that because you know what? That's y'all issue, y'all problem. Y'all created it. Black folks didn't create anything. That's one thing I'm not gonna do is dive too deep into they world and their problems unless it's affecting black folk. That's the only time I'm gonna do that. As I said yesterday on a particular interview I was a part of, my goal is not to sit up there and fix these people or fix nothing going on in this country. I say eventually my ultimate goal is to have me some beachfront property and be chilling, and relaxing and not worried about a freaking thing. That's eventually my goal. I mean, I'm not, you're going to spend your whole life worrying about what these people do. Like I say, these people and what they do with each other and at each other's throats, that's not our issue. That's not our problem. I don't care if they bring it to us. That's not our issue and that's not our problem. It's not. Like I said, they've been doing this stuff to black people forever. Well, now you get to see what black people got to deal with. At least they didn't do what they did Fred Hampton or anything else. I mean, all they did was search him. I mean, they at least, and then they didn't even search him when he was there because he was in New York, actually, when they searched his spot. But they still have an issue with it. Like I said, and I get it. Trust me, I get it because we've never heard of this before with an ex-president. We've never heard this before. This is crazy. And I do agree. It is political because look at the timing they chose to do it right before the midterms when all the people that Trump was like, for the most part, was endorsing. These people been winning their primaries and all of that. And a lot of these people, like I said, are zealots for Trump and they feel they're going to cream him in the midterms. So they trying to, like I say, yeah, they don't understand. They strike Trump like that. All they're going to do is just rile up his base even more. Matter of fact, they already riled up against him. I'm sorry, for him. They already riled up. So, they need to, I mean, if they got something, I hope it's dead to rights because he said he wanted the search warrant put out. And let's see what that is. But yeah, these folks say they're going wild. And you think this headline right here is going to be the only one with these people? Like I said, let them indict him and arrest him. That's when the show is going to start. And like I said, black people, hold your peace. You don't get involved with that. Sit back, go buy you a good thing of popcorn somewhere, and pop your popcorn and watch these folks. Because these folks here, like I said, they always try to tell you about law and order and respecting the laws and the process. These people don't respect a single law. They don't respect no process. They don't respect crap. Nothing whatsoever. That's why I tell y'all that's the last people you need to listen to about anything, because they have proven that when they don't get their way, look at January the 6th. When they don't get their way, look what happens. Look what happens. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah. So let's just keep your eye on these stories, ladies and gentlemen. We'll make sure to keep our eye on them as well. But thank you for joining us on the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click that subscribe button. It's very important that you subscribe. That way, we post another podcast. Make sure you subscribe. That way, you'll know when we post another podcast. And we appreciate you, for stopping by and listening. We'll see you on the next one.